She entered the restaurant with a bright smile, her hand resting lightly on the arm of the guy beside her. I recognized the excitement on her face. Immediately, this was someone she wanted to impress. She spotted me sitting at the corner table, but instead of surprise, her smile grew even wider, almost like she wanted me to see this. I stayed still, quietly observing, giving nothing away. The guy she walked in with was tall, confident, the type who tried too hard to look effortless. He placed a hand on her back as he guided her to a nearby table. She glanced at me again, expecting some reaction: anger, jealousy, anything. I simply lowered my eyes to my drink and continued as if nothing unusual had happened. They sat right in my line of view. It was obvious she chose that spot deliberately. The guy leaned closer to her, saying something that made her laugh louder than necessary. Everyone around looked annoyed, but she kept glancing at me, waiting. I didn't offer a single expression, just calm, quiet, unreadable. After a few minutes, he finally noticed her strange behavior. He followed her eyes and saw me. His confident smirk faded for a moment when he realized I wasn't reacting the way he expected. Instead of glaring or challenging him, I looked through him as if he were nobody important. He tried to recover by placing his hand on hers, tightening his grip like he wanted to prove something. She shifted uncomfortably. She wasn't getting what she wanted from either of us. He wanted dominance. She wanted drama. And I wasn't interested in giving them any part of it. My silence started unsettling him. He straightened up in his chair, cleared his throat, and gave me a forced smile, maybe expecting me to feel threatened or insecure. But I remained calm, sipping my drink, not even acknowledging his attempt to provoke me. The lack of attention seemed to hit him harder than any confrontation. She whispered something to him, probably explaining who I was. His expression tightened instantly. His shoulders stiffened, and his smile dropped completely. He looked at her with a mixture of confusion and irritation, realizing she brought him into a situation he wasn't prepared for. I could see them arguing quietly. His eyes darted back to me repeatedly, but every time he found me relaxed, uninterested, unaffected. That bothered him more than if I had stood up and challenged him. Nothing bruises pride like being ignored by someone you expected to intimidate. She finally stood up, acting frustrated, and walked toward my table. I could feel the tension rolling off her. She wanted a reaction so badly. She wanted me to ask who he was, why she was with him, what was going on. But when she reached my table, I simply looked up politely, waiting for her to speak. She asked softly, almost hesitantly, if I was really okay with everything. I told her calmly that I had already accepted who she chose to spend her time with, and her life was hers to live. No bitterness, no anger, just truth. That answer hit her harder than anything else. When she returned to her table, the guy was no longer smiling. He looked almost embarrassed, as if my calmness had exposed something about him he didn't want to admit. Whatever confidence he walked in with, it disappeared completely the moment he realized he wasn't competition. I just didn't care to play. I stood up, paid for my drink, and walked out without looking back. My quiet reaction had done more damage than any argument, and long after I left, I knew the silence would echo louder in their minds than anything I could have said.